Hi guys, so it's getting about that time again that it is back to school. So for this video, this is going to be a university / college starter kit for those of you that have finished school and are just embarking on the journey that is college / university. So I've been at uni since 2011, so it's been 4 and a bit years. I finished my science degree last year and am now doing a degree in education, for those of you that didn't know. So a lot of this is going to be based on my knowledge that I've gained from my science degree. So first, most important thing that you're going to need, books. Now, there has been kind of a really big push to kind of go towards laptops and iPads lately in schools and stuff like that, but I would recommend definitely 100% get a book. Now there are so many cute books out there these days that you can't just walk past. This is my newest one and it is absolutely adorable. This is from Typo and it has little love hearts. It's pink, it's turquoise, it's yellow, it's got the Chrysler building maybe, or I don't know what building this is, and it's got skyscrapers and buildings, and it's just a really gorgeous book. And having a book like this not only keeps you kind of more organized and prepared, but it also kind of makes you want to study a little bit, because I want to write in this book because it's so adorable. Not only that, but it's also handy because it is a 4-subject textbook or 4-subject notebook. So each of these dividers has a pocket in it that you can put extra papers in if you get papers from your lecturers and things like that, as well as a little kind of pen holder here that I don't use. Yep, so this is from Typo. They're really great in Australia. This book by itself costs $12.99, but Typo pretty much all year round has a 3 for $20 deal. So if you buy 3 of these, it only costs you $20. So along with this one, I also bought this one, which is also adorable with bright, vibrant, cool colours. And this one just has kind of clean white dividers. So that's also a 4-subject book. And then this one as well, which has purple dividers. So these 4-subject books are really helpful for me. These 4-subject books are really helpful for me because in my university we only do 4 subjects a semester. So having these 4-subject books means that I can have one book that has all 4 of my subjects. So I can keep my book in my bag. I don't have to worry about changing out books for the different subjects. I don't have to worry about getting the wrong book and taking the wrong book into class and things like that. And it's also, these pockets are really handy if I have to print out an assignment sheet, or all of my subjects print out a unit outline for you, which is called a week 1 document in my university, that has the important things you need to know, like what the assessment is, when the assessment is due, what you're going to be covering. So those things can easily be slipped into these dividers so that they're easy to get back to and easy to look at. So I would definitely suggest getting kind of a cute book with dividers, or you can get 4 separate books if you want. Completely up to you. Now, another thing that is really, really important is a diary. So I've had tons of diaries, big A4 diaries, A5 diaries, and they're okay. These ones were a day a page type diaries with times down the side, and they're okay, but they weren't really that helpful for me during university, because if I needed to find something I'd have to go through each page to try and find where I'd written it, and not that helpful. So I prefer the weekly diaries. So I have kind of 2 here. This one is an A6, which is the perfect size for going in a pencil case. So it just fits nicely in the pencil case. Ooh, almost dropped it. So I thought this diary was really helpful. It's a weekly diary that I could just kind of flick through and see the entire week and write down the important dates for the exams and stuff, as well as when we were meeting up for meetings with the group work and stuff like that. So this was a really handy diary. Another one, at my university, they give out a free diary at the start of each semester. So each student has the opportunity to get one of these free diaries, which is really helpful. And I would suggest that if you do go to a university that does offer something like this, it's definitely a good idea. If not, this is the kind of diary that I would suggest that you go and purchase if you wanted to purchase a diary. So just this one in particular, this has it's kind of like an index, so it tells you what page the different things are, like useful contacts, important dates, the actual planner part, campus maps, things like that, as well as the academic calendar, which is really important. So let's show you the academic calendar. So my uni in particular has a ton of kind of ads at the front, which is what pays for the free diaries for everyone. So I think that's okay. But yeah, so this is the academic calendar. When you start uni, you're definitely going to need to know what is on the academic calendar. So if you don't have a diary like this that tells you what the academic calendar looks like, I would suggest going on the website and finding the academic calendar so that you know when vacation dates are, you know when public holidays are, you know when you've got to pay your fees by, things like that. So this diary is great because it has an important days for the semester, and it's got all of the important dates, and it tells you kind of the month. So this is April, this is May and June, and this one is February and March. So they're the important dates. And something that this diary in particular does that I find really well is it has all the dates written in the weekly calendar section. So this is things like when your fees are due, when is the last date you can withdraw from a unit without academic penalty, when's the last day you can add units, so if you wanted to swap units. So they're really important dates to know. If something goes wrong and you can't continue with a unit, you need to know when you can drop out and at like what date you can drop out until, and things like that. Another really important thing that you're going to want to do before you go into uni is you're going to need to find a campus map. Now this is in the diary, which is great. So it's got the campus map of the kind of different campuses that they have around the city. So you need to look at your campus diary and look at your university timetable, which this diary conveniently has a place for. So this is really helpful. It tells you the lecture slots, and you can fill in what lecture you're at, what your lecturer's name is, and what building it's in. So once you know kind of where your buildings are, like what buildings you're in, find it on the map. So if you were in J block, you'd want to be coming over here, or if you were in A block, you'd want to be up here. And you kind of want to work out your route, because the worst thing that you can do in week one is finish a lecture, have no idea where you're going, get completely lost, and then walk in 20 minutes late to your next lecture. Not very good. I feel like I've been talking a lot today. Sorry if I'm going a bit fast. Okay, other important things that you might need. Folders. So this is just a display folder. So it's got a lot of these things in it. Perfect if you're printing out a lot of things for your subject. On a similar note, this is a binding file thing, and it's just got you purchase the back and the clear front and the plastic binder, and then you can add in your own pages. So that's also similar to the display folder. If you can get access to that, that's really good. Manila folders are these things. My university requires them for everything. We hand our assignments in these, so they're really important at my university. But depending on what university you're at, might not matter. But they're also really good for holding a bunch of papers. Depending on what you're studying, graph paper and periodic tables are really important in maths and science. And depending on your subjects, you will probably have a kind of workbook that you will need to purchase. So this was my chemistry one for chemistry 1 and chemistry 2, and it's just got a lot of questions in it that they require you to answer during the tutorials. So that was something I needed to purchase. If you're doing science, you're going to need a laboratory practice notebook. Now, some subjects allow you to do that in just a normal notebook, some subjects don't. So also, again, depending on your university, that could be different, but this is just what it looks like. It's just got kind of graphing paper and yeah, so you need to, they will tell you in your week 1 outline or in your first class, they'll tell you what you need, and you can usually purchase them from the bookshops. My university, again, has a few other things like that they require you to purchase. All of the science courses have laboratory notebooks, and or they have something that you have to print out and take with you, like this one. So with this one, I used this because it was a waterproof cover in case I spilled chemicals on it, and it has all of the experiments and worked examples and stuff in that. Continuing on the science forefront, because we were talking about science for a second. If you're doing science, you're going to need safety goggles. Very important. They won't let you in the classroom without them. You're also going to need closed-in shoes and a lab coat. Now, they usually come, lab coats, just kind of white, pockets, those kinds of things. But don't worry, you can make your lab coat look nicer with all sorts of fun things like this. That's my lab coat. It's very colourful. Other things you're going to need, I would suggest index cards to make flashcards so that you can write whatever you want. A good study guide to help you study. You can make them every week after your lectures or tutorials, and then just keep constantly flipping through them each week to make sure that it's getting into your long-term memory and not your short-term memory, because your first year classes held the basics for all of your 3rd and 4th year classes that are a lot harder, and if you don't get the basics, you're not going to get the harder stuff. I'm going to do a separate stationery kit, so back to school, what do you need for university stationery, so that's all going to be covered in that video. Next, something I would suggest is a little key ring torch. So just a little LED light in there, which you can see, and this is just really good to have on your keys, so that if you can't see the keyhole, if you're walking to your car, those kinds of things, you have a little torch that's not attached to your phone, so you're not wasting battery. Also good emergencies, shining in other people's eyes. At my university, again, we had to have locks of some sort. So you can have any sort of lock, but when you're doing science, you can't take your bags with you into the classroom. So we had lockers out the front of the classroom that we put in and we locked so that nobody stole our stuff. So that's also an important thing to think about if you're going to be needing some sort of locker. Very important. Band-aids. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a blister on my foot from walking, I've fallen over and scraped my knee, or I got a paper cut from doing too much work. Very important. Make sure you have some stashed away. Put some band-aids in your bag. Important. Do it now. Now, cough lollies. I guarantee you, you are going to get sick during the first week. Okay, maybe not the first week. You're going to get sick at some point during your first semester. Most people do. And it's almost guaranteed that you're going to get sick during exam block or during study week. So having cough lollies is really important so that you can just go into your exam and take these and make yourself feel better. Or you can take these to a lecture so that you're not coughing everywhere. And they also taste good and have vitamin C in them. On the same sort of line, Panadol, aspirin, kind of paracetamol, pain medication, because I guarantee you, you're going to be going in for a lecture and you're going to have a really bad headache, or you'll be at college all day and you'll get a really bad period pain, or something will happen that will require you to have some sort of pain medication. And you don't want to have to go to the university kind of lolly store or the bookshop or something and have to purchase them because they are way overpriced. So pack some in your pencil case again. Put some in your pencil case so that you're always prepared. Also pads or tampons. Make sure that you have at least one somewhere in your bag to save you from disasters. Because disasters happen. Yeah, you don't want to be the weirdo that's asking all your friends for a pad because you don't have one and your period started and you weren't prepared. Makeup remover wipes. There's been a couple of times where I've had non-waterproof mascara on, or it's rained really heavily and my foundation has been everywhere, and that's not a pretty sight. So makeup remover wipes, any brand, always useful just in case something happens, or you want to change up your makeup. On the same note, a makeup bag to put makeup in if you want to touch up, but most of you guys will probably already have that already. Yeah, what's next? A weekly desk planner is a good idea. So this is mine and I color code it. So the purple is for things that I need to study, and all the different subjects depending on if it's a heavily study time or not. Green is for tennis because I play tennis a lot. Yellow is for fun stuff like watching movies. Red is for YouTube videos. I have pink for tidying my room or cleaning my clothes, stuff like that. And orange is for reading things because I like to put that in my weekly schedule. So a weekly planner is a good idea to just allow yourself to see kind of the overview of the things that you want to get done and what you want to get done each day. So this one was from, I think this one was from Kiki K. I'm not 100% sure about that. It was either Kiki K or Typo. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I find that this is really helpful to stick on my desk and show me what I want to get done this week, and I can tick them off if I want to. So I try and stick to the same colour code each week. So here's just a few of my weeks. Kind of this one I didn't do much, so yeah, so that's just a really good idea. So you can see kind of what you want to get done. And also in the notes section, I like writing a nice quote. Like this one says, take time to relax and de-stress this week and avoid breakdowns. Be happy and enjoy what's to come. So this one was right before the holidays, so it's really important to keep relaxed and remind yourself that you don't need to stress, you can relax, let go, feel free, and don't worry too much. What else? Okay, I said before laptops and iPads are a really good idea. So along with that, laptop bags, really important. They need to be padded and sturdy. So this is one from Typo. I just really like the pattern. My current laptop doesn't actually fit in it, but it's a good example. So it's padded on the insides, and it has a zipper. So even if somebody opens the packet, they can't get inside it. And it has backpack straps. So that's a really good laptop bag. I also have, this bag is also from Typo. It is just a cotton bag or a canvas bag or something like that. Just dust everywhere. So this is just really good for me, taking in things like lab coats that take up a lot of room in my backpack. So I would put this, and I would put the things that I need for my prac into my prac bag, and this I would take me on days that I have pracs. Now I use a backpack to take all of my stuff in, because I find I don't particularly like filling my handbag too much. So I bought my backpack from my university, and it has a ton of different pockets that allow for a lot of different things to be carried in them, and it has organisation compartments and a water bottle compartment. So that's a really good backpack. But any backpack that you like the look of would work well. And if you didn't want to do that, a handbag like this one, something that fits your books in, is also really good. So you just need something that you're able to carry all of your stuff in. But also be aware that sometimes you're carrying your handbag around for the entire day. You might have 8 till 5 for your classes, and there's not much places to put your handbag down. So it's one of those things, if you've got a handbag and you overload it and it's weighing down your shoulders, that's not the best thing. But depending on what you want to do, it's completely up to you. So that's my university starter kit. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I mentioned, I will have a stationery kind of back to school university starter kit type thing, as well as I'm thinking of doing a university tips, things that you need to know that other people won't tell you, or something like that. So if you'd like to see a video kind of like that, like this video, or leave a comment in the description, or leave a comment and I will read those and see what we can do.